Hello everybody, this is game number 2 here in the Hitbox Challenger series by Razor. The first one was a quite an upset to Burden United, dominating the majority of the game pretty much for more than half of the game or 2/3, but in the late game then a weird buyback situation, a standoff between both teams where pretty much no one has a buyback, and then ATN made a good fight, a really good fight, and that led directly to the throne. So ATN is one game ahead. Burden United has to come back on this one, and we might see 3 games here. Of course, on paper, Burden United should be the better team, but ATN, they're fighting for every single centimeter of their base. That's why it's so enjoyable to watch the whole thing. And you're watching with me, Heflamoke, and Mr. Mikelorus, the best of the US, pretty much commentating this game for you.
Whoa. I don't know about that. But yes, it's completely true. I was going to be banned out as alternate attacks aren't going to get their hands on this one. It'll be a Shadow Fiend opening for them. It was a super long game, and when you have games that are that long, there is very rarely a point where you could say, oh, this right here, that lost them the game. I think the Silver Edge pickup on the Ursa didn't really do Burden any favors. But also it's the fact that whenever you have an Ursa and a Queen of Pain as your two big farmers, you will run into a stage in the game where you just won't be able to keep up with the likes of a Tiny, especially when it's a Tiny with an IO right behind him. So Burning United just not having as great late game as alternate attacks. They managed their way up to the late game pretty well, but then they just kind of fell apart. So we'll see if alternate attacks can actually close out the series and continue the Hitbox Challenger pseudo curse by making it so that the challenger never actually challenges more than one team before they get knocked out of their position.
Yes, the challenger is not reigning. Like, this is more or less the Game of Thrones series, to be honest. We should, next time we make
That's what I was thinking earlier, dude. I was thinking exactly that.
No, seriously, it's like Game of Thrones. Like, every 2 months or so, you get thrown pretty much off that throne, and someone else sits on it. And nobody really deserves the throne because they can't really hold it for longer than that. However,
Team Burden United Attack sends their regards.
Well, Burden United always pays in debts or something like that, if we want to go with the Game of Thrones stuff. Because they go for a serious draft. They go for the Tusk. The Tusk actually worked out well. Big No made a good job in the offline. The Gyrocopter now is in, so that's more than it's of a serious draft. They come with the right course. But also on the other side, like, the first pick was actually a Shadow Fiend, so they go also heavy. The Dazzle. Of course, they have to be careful that Burden United does not put, for example, Axe or something against them, but I kind of doubt it because it doesn't really have a place anymore with the Tusk already drafted.
Yeah, the Shadow Fiend Dazzle do have some pretty decent synergy since Shadow Fiend typically tends to be a little bit more on the softer end, even though he may itemize Mech, SNY, Scotty, stat items that make him tanky. Having a Dazzle right behind him is big game, and well, being able to weave the enemies with a little bit of presence of the Dark Lord minus armor is also potentially a lot of extra damage coming out from the already high damage hero of the Shadow Fiend. No more minus armors are going to be taken out, as it's mostly the utility heroes plus Bloodseeker to be kicked out of the pool, but Dazzle is just a good hero to have versus Tusk. It's very obvious what target Tusk is going to be going for because it's a giant snowball. If you miss it, you're blind. You just grave that target and they will just survive for that much longer. So though Gyrocopter or Tusk, they are incredibly powerful, and Rubik should be in consideration here for Burden United's third pick. Alternate attacks opening is so flexible and it does so much.
Yep. And to be honest, if you look at what they banned, they don't want to have those big magic cores. So Queen of Pain, Leshok is out. They don't want to have these playmakers with the Undying, with the Winter Wyvern. The Tusk somehow got through, obviously, just because they had to make space for at least one ban they don't want to see again, which is the IO. Other than that, no Bloodseeker, no Shadow Demon, which is very, very interesting. I did not see this one coming, to be honest, but the Earthshaker now, the second source of stun, the third one if you actually skill the rocket, which we saw yesterday, by the way. That was very interesting, by the way, the build we saw yesterday. Flat Cannon ignored, going for a rocket, as well as Rocket Rush, the Gyrocopter in the mid. Never seen something like that before, but okay.
Well, we'll see what they want to go for next alternate attacks. The Shadow Demon ban is only really because we have a Dazzle picked up by alternate attacks. The disruption into Shadow Wave makes it so that the usually very low damage support heroes of Dazzle and the Shadow Demon suddenly become a very dangerous combination. So I think Burden United respecting that is well, certainly it's showing how strong the combo is, but it's also a pretty smart way to go, as Team Alternate Attacks instead grab a Witch Doctor. Now their two low damage supports will kind of stay low damage supports. Dazzle's almost purely defensive if he doesn't have some hero to bounce off this Shadow Wave. And Witch Doctor has a stun and is decent at poking the lane, but that's about it. Shaker doesn't have a ton of damage either. When you're setting up for the likes of Gyrocopter, Rocket Barrage, you don't need a lot of damage coming out from your supports.
Absolutely, yeah. So the only worry I have is pretty much like my sorrows go to Witch Doctor, because there's so much. There's absolutely so much that can already interrupt him right now, which means he has to find a good position and a good timing. Like if he does the wrong timing, and that is just with abilities, not even talking about items. There's no Orchid, no Hex, no whatsoever. This is really just the abilities, and they are already free for him, pretty much waiting that he does not get a full channel through. We have to see how that works. For early roaming and everything, it might be nice if we see that level 1 Maledict and the level 2 Coconut, for example, coming out. That is cool if you get like 2 raises in and then some right clicks. That could be enough for some rotations, but let's see. At the moment, I mean, I'm a big Witch Dog fan, but in this draft so far, I'm not really seeing that Witch Dog unfold to his full potential.
It's just a hero with a stun, and in that regard, it's always going to be fine. But now that the 2 supports are picked up on alternate attacks, it's going to free up a selection of the Storm Spirit, who is, going to be on the receiving end of a stun with that cask. But cask is something that you can very easily dodge as a Storm Spirit, as long as you're paying any sort of attention. But we have a Slardar being picked up. Alternate attacks going not completely all in, but very deep into this minus armor physical damage type strategy, and BU will need to itemize appropriately, get armor, get ghost scepters, and try to withstand. But across the board, like, this is gonna hurt.
It's really just Vengeful missing. We have Present of the Dark Lord, we have Weave, we have Amplified Damage. The Vengeful Spirit would top it completely with the minus armor. So I think only the Witch Dog can't really contribute, but if he gets a medallion and we have 5 heroes with a minus armor source.
Death Ward, dude.
Hmm?
Death Ward. It's the payoff skill.
Yeah, I guess. That's the one who benefits a lot from it. Spirit Picker is getting banned out, so there's no roaming. I was surprised he makes it that long. The Storm Spirit and the Gyrocopter, 2 decent cores. For Team Alternate, the Slardar, I'm not so sure about his potential, especially because the last game went so long. Now, if I project this game going very long, who wins this? Because I have a better feeling about a tanky Tusk, a big Earthshaker play. I mean, he was part of like that good fight we just saw that finished the game for ATN. So Shadow Fiend alone with a Slardar, then we really have to see. I'm also kind of worried about the lockdown, because who's locking down that storm at this point? Like, who will?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to actually get the first stun off, but if they somehow do, then Witch Doctor stun into Slardar stun into the physical damage afterwards should be enough to kill off the Storm Spirit. So it is going to depend on Slardar getting a super fast Blink Dagger, but at this point, BU, they should be looking for another support here. With Earthshaker Gyrocopter already being picked up on their side, if they grab someone like a Rubik or a Lina or something like that, they can very easily go offensive tri-lane into the Slardar. And though he has Witch Doctor Dazzle to kind of help him and poke, Slardar up against that many heroes is really not where you want to be. He can't fight toe-to-toe with the Gyrocopter just because he's melee and Gyrocopter is Rocket Barrage, and that in of itself makes it a bad situation. And whoa! Techie's Tusk. There it is.
Wow.
Alternate attacks, they don't have any great answers to this Techies, let's just say.
Yeah, finally Europe gets also techies. I mean, we got really spoiled by a lot of techies plays in the Chinese tournaments running on HeflaTV.
I didn't see any, dude. That was all you. You're just lucky like that.
Really? I got all the techies? I thought you were...
I got 0.
Oh, come on. You casted me techies. I'm pretty sure.
I got 0 interesting ones.
Okay. Okay. That's
0 memorable
That's
ones.
not my fault, though, right?
That's true.
Anyway, so finally Europe actually gets a techies. It's coming a bit into the meta, which I like. And of course, the TI is less than a week away. And I hope we're going to see some more there. Because the techies that lane and the techies that are very aggressive with Tiny and Tusk combos, they are... yeah, very, very interesting to watch. Plus, the games are, of course, naturally going very late. But I'm not talking about the, like, oh my god, we cannot go high ground at techies. Like, the techies that I mean are those who are very proactive. Like, they blow things up before, yeah, bigger things blow up. That's what a techie is good at. And, of course, the early game should be much better. Plus, you limit your team to just moving around. Like, actually, no, the other team to move around. That's what I mean.
And the last pick for alternate attacks is not going to be someone like a Zeus who will offer them that kind of free detection style. It's going to be a Puck who is fine at jumping in on the likes of Storm Spirit Techies. So that's the primary initiation for the alternate attack side. But it seems like alternate attacks, this Techies selection, has not really phased their draft. Like, this is a solid draft from alternate attacks. I don't know if it's exactly what they want to have now up against techies played by Yapzor, but alternate attacks now have a way of getting in, and they will actually TP straight up to the top lane to try to stop any shenanigans coming out from these techies. But this is going to be a definitely interesting game. BU, they're down a game, and they're going to rely on the techies to bring them back into this series. I love the confidence, man. Like, you got to have some serious balls to make this play.
Yep, especially when you're one game behind. I mean, we saw techies that completely failed. Like, completely failed. But then again, well, Burden United, they seem either completely relaxed or...
Tell me you didn't miss that.
Yes, I missed that.
What a scrub, guys.
I did not expect him just actually showing up. Like, he knows that it's the suicide combo, and I was like, okay, he's just there behind the trees, but he's going in vision, snowball, suicide, and I missed that first blood. I just did not think ATN would actually risk that.
It's another, like, mind game situation where you're like, oh, well, there's techies here. Surely they're not going to get into a position where they're going to be blown up by it, but then Dazzle is just going to get insta-gibbed. Snowball does a very minor amount of damage. 80 for a skill at level 1 is not bad, but Suicide is pretty good. Suicide is pretty good at level 1, guys. So Yapzor, with the help of Big, I'm going to grab first blood. Let's introduce everyone else, as it is currently 1-0 in favor of BU, although the score is kind of faulty there.
Oh, look at
this.
this.
Fight over this bottom rune. Mind Control's Rocket Barrage is going to get turned on. Exotic Deer going to swagger right in. It'll be the Shadow Fiend to grab the bounty. Now Mind Control is going to take a beating on his way out, but he's going to be playing the Gyrocopter. Come with me is on the Shaker. Over towards mid, it's going to be Hook on the Storm Sprint, and then the Yapzor Tusk combo played by, or Techie's Tusk combo played by Yapzor and Bigdom, and it looks like Mind Control still is not completely out of the woods, but he will get out of there eventually.
To be honest, I think that was the right play for him to make, because that the damage he took there is like worth one tango, pretty much, and you get the bounty run for it, which is a nice start to have, obviously. Anyway, to introduce the other side here on ATN, the one who died first and the one that I missed the first part for, where I'm sorry, but Nisha, that's the Dazzle who got blown up. We have Supremo here on the Slaughter, Lisha's on the Witchdog, which is at the moment, yeah, getting harassed by the Gyrocopter. Top, we have Hava in the offlane with the Puck, and of course in the mid, we have Exotic Deer.
If we're going for this Game of Thrones thing, isn't like the Shame Bella thing? I'm not up there yet, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing. And we'll be sure to ring it for you, as Elisa's on the run from Rocket Barrage. Another one's active right now. It's going to be split, and Hero's going to get the crush in time, saving the Witch Doctor. Mind Control, now completely out of mana, is therefore not really a strong hero. And Hero, I mean, Supreme Hero, the Slardar with the help of Witch Doctor, it's not an incredibly dangerous combo, but without that much damage coming out of this Gyrocopter now, they can farm a lot more comfortably.
Well, and where did Nisha take that damage? Were there mines somewhere up here? Am I missing again, or was it really just the
I think he
Storm
just got
Streak?
into a fight with Storm,
Yeah.
and he got out of there, but up towards top, we got another snowball in. Kaboom! No?
No, kaboom.
No, there's 8 seconds left until Suicide Squad. That is just a snowball for snowball's sake.
Okay, very interesting. I think the tower, no, not even the tower got damaged there. The mine wasn't close enough, but still, in 8 seconds, this could be easy blow up for the Puck, and at this point, I mean, he got some mana back. He has enough for Orb. But yeah, after that he really gotta be careful. And look at this, there's a snowball, it's trolling, it's stunning and blowing him up. There we go, Hava is not anymore.
The stun duration of a level 1 snowball is not super high, but it is enough for techies to just cast that Suicide Squad attack. I haven't played a ton of techies. I don't know if you could still auto-cast that Suicide. I know you used to be able to, but either way, Puck is going to be, in theory, the best hero to deal with this, simply because he can dodge that initial snowball, and ideally with the orb, he'll be able to get out of harm's reach. And if the techies is not paying super close attention, he may just end up whiffing his Suicide, and that's not the end of the world for techies. But still, now with 2 kills in this top lane, this Puck is still going to get some experience, simply because in between these Suicides, she doesn't have that much to worry about, but still is going to be suffering quite a few deaths. We have an awkward situation brewing in the Radiant Jungle, as Come With Me is going to start laying in some right clicks onto Elisa. There's a fissure wall opportunity here, so now the Witch Doctor even going to get hit with that stun. Yapzor going to get in the way for some body blocking, letting Mind Control get a little bit closer. Coconut is bouncing through, and Elisa is going to slip away, but to where, I ask you, because Hook is going to be cutting off from the north side. Mind Control's on the right, is going to unload his rockets into Nisha right now. Wave is there, now Grave being leveled up, and this is going to leave Elisa off to the right side. Mind's going to drop him low, but Yapzor doesn't have anything else. They split their damage, and that's going to mean that BU get absolutely nothing here.
Okay, I think if Mind Control would have come back and just pursued the Witch Dog, which they had completely surrounded, that might have been a kill, but he went for Nisha, completely tunnel visioning on him, so that was not really a good idea in the mid. There's actually some nice damage here on Autolus, but is there another race? Nope, there's just nothing actually left. There's just an Overload Charge and Yapsa. He has no suicide, he can only pop a mine if he really wants to, but yeah, I like that he's now mobile, he's all over the map, which means at the moment, there comes the point where ATN says like, I'm not so sure, should I go high ground here or do I get just blown up by something? If the suicide comes back up, we might have him go for the puck again, just because it's like a safe bet to go for that suicide.
Yeah, just like having techies show his face in places other than just one lane is huge. Now, as you said, Alternate are scared, and they will be very cautiously moving around this map. Even Come With Me has an Invis rune. Shame we don't see that being picked up by Yapsor, because that's a nasty surprise. But still, they have mana enough for Mind Control, and oh, wow, Puck dying Bignum solo. I was expecting getting towards bottom lane. Mind Control is going to get hit with the stun from Heroes, going to start to cut off the creep waves. Rockets being split, now Slaughter is into the trees. We'll start man-fighting Mind Control. I don't know if that's really something he wants to be doing. He has another Crush to land only on Come With Me. Now he's trying to sprint out of there, and there is nothing else to slow him down. He'll slip away, but yeah, I was watching bottom. I have no idea what happened to that Puck. He should not be dying 1 versus 1 to this Tusk, especially a Tusk with no Walrus Punch.
Yeah, and I might even go for more here, but oh, nice stun here, but the Crush is coming out. It was just fake, and Supreme has to go back. Like, he really wanted to get that Crush on the Gyrocopter. That might have been a kill, but man, he lost so much HP right there. There's a Coconut bouncing between those heroes, but unfortunately, he's not there in range for that Crush, so I don't know, the communication between Witch Dog or like the risk assessment of both these players is not exactly the same, so the real plays are not really coming out, at least not the synergy you were hoping for.
Yeah, the bottom lane is really devoid of kills, which is kind of surprising to me. You would expect with the Gyrocopter lane, one person would die at least. Maybe the Gyrocopter even going a little bit too over-aggressive, but Hero is getting quite a bit of farm. Like, he has 20 CS in this off lane, above the only 11 CS of the Gyro, who now has to go all the way back to the base to, or try to suicide himself to neutrals or something. But the Slaughter getting this farm means that he's that much closer to his Blink Dagger. Up towards top, Snowball in is not going to connect on Hawa. Now at this point, he should be survivable enough to live through these techies combos, but still, it's a sticky situation up towards top lane. Hawa's at least going to get some experience off of that one. They're getting farmed down towards bottom. Come with me. Crush before you get his own stun out, and now he's going to get beaten down. Fissure will be thrown, won't even kill off a creep, as the Dazzle does heal bomb his way to a kill. Up towards top, Snowball is going to be launched. Will it connect on Hawa? It will. I think there's a suicide here, in fact. Oh, not in range, although now it is. He's going to lay the mine instead. Kaboom. And Yapsor is going to stay alive while at the same time getting that kill. It's a killing spree for the techies, and Puck, even with the phase shift and the orb and the silence, cannot escape.
That works too. I mean, Walrus punching someone, by the time you land, plus you're also slowed after Walrus punch, like, you will definitely eat one mine. So that's also a nice combo if you don't have anything left. But yeah, Mind Control wanted to go for that rune. There's actually a mine on the rune, just in case someone actually wants to go for it. Like, nobody dared to take that mine. That's the respect you get when you have a techies. That's amazing.
It's 2 mines in that cluster, although it only appears to be 1. Dazzle walks over that, and he's mostly dead. With Gyrocopter there, they can definitely get the kill if he's not outright going to die. But Yapsor still has that suicide, and he's partnering up with Bignum still in this top lane. Yapsor hasn't laid a ton of mines down, although he's going to start protecting this top lane with a couple of landmines at this stage. He's level 4 as techies. For 7 minutes in, that's a pretty high level for this like pseudo support role hero to be in, even after he's gotten so many kills. And with the Snowball in, they're going to once again look for Hawa. Won't connect to this time, but keeping this Puck on his toes, keeping this Puck super scared. And in the meantime, well, Exotic Deer is actually rotated out of the mid lane, gonna give Hook a little bit of free time to get not only a lot of gold, but also more levels. Ball lightning already up.
Yep. And to be honest, if that techies knew that there is a Witch Dog around the jungle, they could easily just go for it. There's another Snowball. Cabin out. The Puck totally scared. He has to be so alert in this game. This is really gonna be good, to be honest. Hava is under complete spam, and the techies benefit so much from the Tusk being in such a good position, because so far he has been feeding off the Arcane Boots there as well, and he's pretty much having his Arcane Boots in just a tiny bit. Now, actually, there might be a rotation. The Snowball is coming after all of this. Is he going for something? No, he doesn't get the Walrus Punch off, not holding him in place. Now the Walrus Punch is... He actually gets the kill, and look at the techies, and there's the suicide. No, he doesn't get the suicide through, and with the raises and everything, no. He actually makes it out. Oops, that was a misclick, but now he makes it out, and the last projectile is not enough.
And the Techies could have suicided there, but he wants to get max damage. Oh, down towards bottom lane. Nisha in a little bit of trouble. Got fissured and is now at 1 hit away from death. Come with me. Should be able to guarantee this kill, though. There's a crush slowing them down a little bit. Nisha's going to get healed up, so we'll try to slip away. Mind Control does not have a call down, nor does he have much mana. Nisha is going to be on the run, although trying to juke out. I think if he ran in a straight line, it would have been a little bit better served. But here comes Hala right now. Coil only has Mind Control. He's stuck, crushed down. Nisha's still on the survival path right now. He's going to try to deny himself to some ogres, but a fissure is going to kill him off in the end, making it a 1-for-1 trade, but a 1-for-1 trade that Alternate are more than happy to make. Killing off a Gyrocopter, even though it is an under-farmed Gyrocopter, is so worth your Dazzle. Even though your Dazzle and Gyrocopter, they're pretty much even. So it's a great trade to happen down towards bottom, but Hawa now leaving the top lane means that whoever does go to the top lane is going to be up against the Tusk, and Puck is still the most survivable hero up against this Tusk, even though Puck has already died a couple times. No one else can really have a better time there.
The biggest problem I had with this bottom fight was that we had a situation where I thought, like, if he turned around and put that fissure on the 2 heroes that just ran through a mine, the techies could have just suicided and get a double kill, but instead he was holding back, trying to get the right clicks in on the Dazzle, so they traded their Gyrocopter away for a Dazzle, not making it a good trade. Getting the double kill there on them, that would have been okay. Gyrocopter for, like, the Slaughter as well as the Puck, that would have been nice. So now some dewarding is coming out here by the Dazzle. He wants to secure at least that rune, but I don't think that vision is gonna last for very long, because they know now there is something. It just takes a while till they probably just go and set reward this out.
I think this stack on the bottom lane, though, is also spotted, so maybe the alternate side will be able to clear that one out. Where did the other sentry go? I have no idea. Oh, yeah, it's somewhere floating around, but we still have a pretty big mine up on the top lane as well. We're trading gets down towards bottom. Call down after the fissure is going to do absolutely nothing. Fissure stun doesn't actually last for a long time, so BU, they will whiff that combo, and Gyrocopter now starting to get some farm, has now surpassed the Slardar. Slardar, though, has his Blink Dagger, so as far as Slardar's objective in lane, mission accomplished.
Absolutely. The Storm Spirit picks up an invisibility rune, so we have to see if he actually does something. I mean, so far he has been just in the mid, not showing any action. The Shadow Fiend was the first one. Oh, there's a nice stun here, and Walrus Punch, the Puck again going out. Now he is, of course, a bit locked in. Fissure on one side and Ice Shards on the other, but still. Oh, and also bottom, jumping on the Gyrocopter. Look at the punches going for it, and now, yeah, it's, I think, just a matter of right clicks. In the end, the Witch Doctor is the lucky one. So they trade the Puck for a Gyrocopter. Again, I would say not the best one. The Gyrocopter needs to farm.
He just needs to stay alive just to get experience at the very least off of this lane, but up against the now blinking Slardar, it's so much more difficult for any hero, let alone its softer Gyrocopters, to survive that kind of onslaught. The Storm Spirit arrived with that invis, but really can't do anything. Hook has been very, very quiet in this game. Kind of same thing for Exotic Deer. Both these heroes are just farming it up in mid, but we do have a big pickup in the mech on the Tusk. This guy, 303, is second place in the net worth, and yeah, he has a combo of techies up towards top, which makes his laning phase a lot stronger, but you very rarely see a Tusk getting this much out of any given lane. The fact that he is going to be really scary for Alternate, because Exotic Deer, he just picked up his mech.
And nobody can show up in this lane, because if Teki rotates in, then they will have a problem. But look at this. Nisha, is he going for something? He has no idea what's going on. He has just one observer. He has no sentry, so running blindly into that top area, there might always be some mines on the high ground. And yes, Bignum is just working on that tower, and I don't think there's anything they can do at this point. Like, Nisha even has to be careful. Like, with... Oh, come with me. Getting spotted out by Creepy the Creep. And look at this snowball. It's actually coming. They want to go for Nisha, but, well, at the end of the snowball, there is a Shadow Fiend waiting, so they have to run out. But I don't think this is going to be a problem, unless, of course, there is a Slaughter coming in. And look at this minus armor, as well as that Death Ward. He just got obliterated.
Yeah, without using a hero who didn't even have enough time to get that mech off, just dead so quickly. There is a mine stack here, and oh no, Hawa, don't do it. No, don't go there. Well, you know.
Oh, I love techies. I love that hero so much.
I hate techies, dude. This
yes,
sucks.
I do too.
It's
when
even
I play
painful to watch.
Oh god. But yeah. Then again, Tekis is the hero with the most voiceovers. If you ever go on like the Heropedia or whatever that is called, like it's just amazing. You have like 200 files of Tekis laughter recorded there on that site. It's just hilarious.
This is making me feel dirty already. But towards top, they're going to look for a fight. Bagnum's going to wander forward, gets crushed immediately with the weave there, as well as going to take a hell of a lot of damage from the Shadow Wave. Call down those, going to connect to 3, come with me. Stumbling in, trying to get his Echo Slam off. He's silenced, now is finally going to get it onto 2, dropping them super low. Mind control though, he's off to the side, and here comes Hook. He's going to grab the kill on the Shadow Fiend, now going to go for the puck, grabs the double instantly. Looking for Nisha, looking for Hero. Oh, it looks like the Slaughter is hidden in the trees, and it looks like the Storm Spirit will back off in time. It's a 2 kill for BU with another Arch Shards. They're looking for a little bit more. Fissure can connect onto 2. Mind control with the missile there as well. Is going to get a little bit closer to the tower than he really should, but Bignum gets the Walrus Punch in. That's Witch Doctor down. Now Nisha. Well, the shards aren't going to completely wall him off, but he's fighting to the death. His death is coming because he's just sticking around for way too long. Bignum can eat the tower all day long and just go for this Nisha kill. Mind control with a straight TP out. Ice Shards plus Fissure. That'll guarantee the kill, and the tower is going to die shortly after. BU lose absolutely nothing. They collect 4 kills on this top lane. And Techies, he's in the meantime getting experience and gold in the mid lane.
It's Techies' core, man. You don't understand. Like, the 4 supports are at the moment, like, just making sure that Techies has enough space on the map, so he's just going for the mid and getting some farm in.
Hey man, this is also a giant stack, and this may actually catch Alternate by surprise, simply because they might not have been watching the Techies over here, so they don't know that there's a stack. They're gonna ping it out, so they should know, but Exotic Fear... Oh, don't go in there, man. Okay, they definitely know. They're gonna smoke up and go around. There is a small mine stack. I don't know how big these mine stacks are because he's placing them right on top of each other, but this smoke may run into an unpleasant situation by stumbling over something they really don't want to be stepping on. They will just go straight to the bottom lane. They won't find anyone. Actually, no, Earth's going to teleport in. There's a Crush waiting for him. Come with me. Fissure is going to connect, but suddenly a million heroes. He's going to get hit with the coconut, silenced as well as raised down. He's going to try to get into the trees, but can't hide from the Death Ward, and he will go down.
Okay, that was very unpleasant. He's coming in, he wants to be like super efficient and just going for that Fissure, but that didn't really work out. In the meantime, however, they dive mid and they get the Dazzle. So that was pretty much the parallel kill. Still, this is going to end up in at least a tier 1 tower going down. ATN at least 1, that is. And in the mid, they pretty much do the same thing. There is, however, still a cliff available. The only good thing is if they fight here, they have mines in the back. And that's, of course, bad.
And when you're fighting and then you're slowly moving into those mines, it's a lot harder to remember that there are actually mines there. The App Store is going to show his face, so maybe it'll, just the Techies being here will kind of remind Alternate that there is a threat of landmines and remotes in the area. Tower, though, is going to get dropped by the alternate side, or for the alternate side, and will still remain standing over in mid, where they're going to look to fight here. Slardar is still in the bottom lane, however. This is a fight you want to have your Slardar in, just so we can collect a little bit more, but man, look at these mines. Alternate, they want to go for Mind Control. Mind Control wants them to go for him. It's a pure bait right now. He's going to get hit with the coconut. Raise 1 will miss. Here comes the orb. Puck, don't jump in there. That's a bad idea. Weave, though, onto a whole boatload of BU heroes. The tower slowly but surely is going to drop Exotic Fear. Stunned by the missile. Tower is going to be denied by Dazzle. Well played there by Nisha, but can they retreat without losing anyone? Ball landing in. They're going to go for the puck, but he actually jumps forward in the backlines. He's going to get a 2-man stun with help of the Death Ward. That's going to be instantly. The Techie's down. Bignum is not that healthy either. He's stuck in the snowball. He's going to go toward Exotic Fear, but the Death Ward is not being canceled. Finally, it will stop, but already 2 casualties are there. Supreme Hero won't go for Mind Control. There's a sentry now on the floor. They see all the remotes. It's going to be a 2-for-1 after all said and done. Come with me. We'll teleport out of there safe and sound. And Techies, all of his hard work is going to go down the tubes.
Yeah, that's not so funny anymore for the Techies. I mean, he managed to suicide without doing any damage here in that fight, unfortunately. Because, yeah, he had to just blow up to deny some experience and everything. That just didn't really work out. I have to say, the Witch Dog... I mean, you can remember that I said, like, this might not be really the right game for him because there's so much to disable him, but no Waning Rift, no Vortex, no Echo Slam, but oh, top, Mind Control, well, doesn't even have, well, he has actually nice sticks, so there's full damage coming out here by the Slaughter, and he also has, of course, Sprint available, so he's getting tons of damage right there. In the end, that wasn't really enough. Anisha getting caught out here by the Storm Spirit, and I think he's gonna die, or is he? No, there should be the Shallow Grave forward, and that Fissure is actually just beautiful. He's going out, but the mine, the interrupt, yes, it's gonna be there. The snowball in the end is just gonna make sure he's not getting out there, but it was a close one.
He is gonna go down in the end, maybe cost the Hook a little bit more mana than he really thought he would need, but oh, there's a landmine here. It's just one actually, and it will be sentried out, so Alternate, you know, after this early game phase where they kind of got demolished by Yapsor, are now playing very well around this Techies. The remote mines have been laid down pretty consistently, but we can see again this remote mine mini stack is going to instantly be cleared, and Alternate aren't going to be walking into these anytime soon. If they can avoid this Techies, then Techie suddenly becomes a really bad hero. Alternate, though, you can't remain diligent at all times. Eventually, you're going to slip up and make some sort of mistake. It'll cost a hero a life somewhere. Just a matter of when that's actually going to happen. But as long as Techie sticks around this mid lane, the sentry coverage is pretty darn good. And, well, for BU, they're going to have a slight lead in this game. Still have to deal with a pretty farm Shadow Fiend. Still have to deal with this Miner's Armor. But Slardar doesn't actually have that much going for him. He's farming incredibly slowly.
At the moment, the Dazzle is buying sentry wards like no tomorrow. And that's the right thing to do. He's dewarding everything. So he got multiple mines. He gets like this stack of mines, even though he might get a revenge here pretty much soon since they blink on him. But like 2 observers, a sentry removed, stack of mines removed. So Dazzle at the moment doing at the key position really good work. That's what you need against the Techies. If you start to be afraid of every single centimeter on the map, then your Techies has won. That's exactly what he wants. He is a hero of terror. He's the stronger and the more horrifying, the more tears you shed at night over his presence, and that's what you have to avoid.
Smoke gonna be blown by Come With Me right now. He's gonna run into the mine stack that was previously laid down, but he won't even get there in time. He's dead. Now they're gonna spot Yapzor, I feel. Yapzor has a small stack here, but that's not gonna be enough. Remote's gonna be blown up, which will do nothing. Now Death Ward, from a range, they'll safely take him out. Blink Forward Hero is gonna look for a Tusk. It's only an illusion, unfortunately, so they won't get back kill, but there are a couple of remote mines in the Roche pit that Nisha was slowly taking out. He has used Grave to do it, but now they're just going to walk right in. They have the vision with the Weave, and they will take down those mines. Again, Alternate playing so well around this Techies. They'll go straight into the Roche pit, and BU, they do have heroes enough. Oh, shoving Exotic up to the high ground. He has no TP, so he's stuck there. Call down, going to connect onto a couple of heroes. But Roshan with all his Miner's Armor is going to drop super rapidly. Now with no call down, BU's damage potential just plummeted. But Exotic Deer is firing from the high ground. I didn't know you could actually do that. That doesn't seem fair. But Roshan down at half HP, and BU thinking about going in. Storm Spirit now making his arrival. Guard's going to be thrown. They're going to catch Hawa, though he does have an orb out. He'll be just fine. Roshan now is still going to survive, and BU don't have enough damage to kill him off themselves, so they'll just have to try to mine it up and make it difficult for Ultimate to take it down the line.
This is just incredible, but I think it was the right decision to go out, because with the Shadow Fiend there on a high ground, it was a very, very awkward position, especially if you want the Shadow Fiend to have that mine there. Going for Roshan, but they're also planting mines, so this is really bad. They're scouting out. Hava is really on low HP, has nothing left. He couldn't grab that invisibility rune here. In the meantime, Roshan is just walking into a mine, noob, but yeah, this is over, this Roshan. Yeah, unless the Techies actually takes Roshan out with the mines.
You can do that. It's like the worst way to spend your time as Techies, but if you're constantly getting DWAR'd, you might as well. Elisaw's going to get jumped by the Storm and Bignum, blown up in an instant. That's a free kill for BU, and now with no Witch Doctor, they can go for this tier 1 tower, although it was pretty much dead to start things off. Techies, the kind of forgotten about portion of the Techies, despite the fact that he is a piece of shit. He has landmines, which does so much damage to towers. Like, this is, I think, probably the highest damage skill against towers. I might be wrong, but it seems like it's the most.
Yeah, it does tons of damage. Like the siege power of the Techies, especially like aggressively played Techies, is just immense. At the moment, well, they're going to be aggressive. And look at this Fissure. This Fissure might be the start of something really big, but at the moment they just blow up the Gyrocopter. He's so low at the moment, but the Ice Shot's not really holding him back. He has to just go and dive really deep. In the end, he's just going down. But look at this Death Ward at the moment. It's beautiful, like getting everyone here zoned out, and that is a 2-for-1 trade. Burden United not really making the good trade here. And they also can't really change now into more because they have no idea where the mines are. Like there.
And they want to go for Roshan.
And the next one.
Plan. They have a sentry here. Unfortunately, the sentry does not spot the remotes. Oh, remote chucked from the high ground. Oh no, please. Alternate, you've been doing such a great job. They're going to orb in. Do they have a gem? Do they have sentries? They're going to get hit with the Fissure. Exotic Deer. It's going to start at Roshan. Yeah, they have True Sight up on the high ground, so they should see these remotes. And they're actually going to find an angle to hit Roshan where they're not in any trouble. And yeah, Come With Me getting chased down by Slardar. His damage output's still not super high, but Shaker is not super tanky either. Chucks the Echo Slam in some sort of desperation attempt. He's going to maybe shove Hero into the trees. He will. Come With Me has to TP out, but he doesn't even have it. Hero's going to jump right in. He will get that kill in the end. Shaker unloading a lot of spells to no avail, and it is going to be Alternate getting another free pick off. Still can't easily go for Roshan because of these mines, but hey, they're getting a lot elsewhere.
I would so laugh if Techies was able to somehow steal the whole thing. I mean, well, Techies is such an amazing hero. It's just, I don't know.
Such a bad
this game
hero,
is so
dude.
borked already.
I never thought that Techies would actually be like picked up in a game like this. He doesn't deserve to be in CM. I'm just gonna put that out there right now, and I don't want to have a discussion about it. I'm just gonna say it, and we're just gonna move on.
No, I'm not gonna object, but it makes the whole game very, very interesting because there's no blind tunnel visioning. Everybody has to think about their steps twice. The positioning, the mines, the vision, everything becomes so much more important. But oh, Nisha, he wants to go ham here on those wards, but in the end, out to lose. Well, he has a regeneration rune, so everything should be just fine for him. And Nisha was actually able to deward here, which is of course again a big blow to Burden United because they have to spend so much to reclaim that vision around Roshan. Like, did anyone like, I don't know, write a memo that there's still a top lane? Because that top lane, except for now, finally the Earthshaker, I think no one visited that lane for the last 10 minutes or so.
Come with me as an intrepid explorer. He's going boldly where no man has gone before, and he's going to go to this top lane, try to get some resources, try to get his Blink Dagger. Unfortunately for him, there's going to be a Slardar Witch Doctor combo on the way. Slardar can get this kill by himself. With the help of the Death Ward, it'll just be a disgusting amount of damage. It's a very dead Shaker right now, and the Techies' mines are once again going to be cleared out by the alternate side. Roshan take no damage, but now Hawa's going to get pulled in by Hook. Remote mine, just as a nuke, will kill off the puck. So yeah, if you kill off the mines, great job, but you lose your life for it. Not worth it at all, since Techies now has enough time to relay those mines if needed. Probably not going to do that, since obviously there's True Sight there, but still, they lose the Shaker, gain the puck, and a pretty good trade for BU.
Yep, and also the Techies now with getting here these kills and everything. I mean, mind you, the last 3 suicides actually went into nothing. Like, literally not doing any damage whatsoever. He didn't get in a snowball. He couldn't really do anything with a suicide. And it's a level 4 suicide. If you take that out of the equation in a fight, that's a lot of damage missing for Burden United. So I'm looking forward to this fight when he actually can blow up on multiple targets. That would, of course, be great. So far, we haven't really seen that in the, I don't know, the last half of this game. However, he gets now some nice farm, can last hit some heroes with the remote mines, and that means Arcana Scepter soon.
Well, no, it's actually going to be a Bloodstone for him.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Most of the time it's Aghanims, though. Like, I think just once you see the Aghanims on Techies, if he places the sign in the Roche Pit, alternate will not be able to go for it. Like, even with no mines there, he just bluffed them into not going for it ever. Yet he's going to go for the Mana Regeneration build, which is fine. Like, it's not a bad way to go. But I just feel like Aghanims is, as a first item, a lot stronger for the Techies. It seems like alternate, they're now going to find an opening where there are no mines in the Roche Pit. They should have spotted it earlier with this Sentry Ward, so they know exactly that they're perfectly safe. But the Sentry Ward is not going to see a Storm Spirit should he jump in. Storm, though, is up on top. They have no Slardar in this Roche Pit, so it's a little bit slower than it really can be. And BU, they have the heroes here to make a jump, but they're not in a good position right now.
I don't think they know.
Shards down towards bottom, and Roshan will drop for free, giving an Aegis to Exotic Deer.
Yep, it took a long, long time, but they sneak it. They simply sneak it, which is, of course, very good.
Yeah, they're going to grab free Aegis, and well, Storm Spirit, he's almost at his Orchid. That's going to be super useful versus the Puck, versus this Dazzle as well, but trading off now for a double life on the Shadow Fiend with the BKB, just being picked up 10 seconds on that one. This Shadow Fiend is pretty much exactly where he wants to be. Should be looking towards an Ultimate Orb item. My god, words. Item next, Scotty would be a pretty nice pickup for him. BU, they're still really struggling on this Gyrocopter to actually get him farm. He doesn't really have many places to get farm, and a Sanj and Yasha, it's a nice item, but for 26 minutes, you really need a little bit extra.
Yep, the hopes are pretty much on the Storm Spirit to make the plays, as well as the Techies just mine the entire map, that ATN will just farm a lot slower, and then that is the time the Gyrocopter needs to catch up. His laning was kind of horrible. He was really shut down quite a lot, but so was, for example, the Puck. I'm surprised the Puck actually managed to get something, but yeah, he also benefited from some nice fights for ATN they had, and then ever since he was not really dying. Ever since he's not in touch with the Techies anymore, he's stopped dying pretty much.
Well, alternate, they grab the Aegis and they draw a straight line down the mid lane. They have, how much detection? They have 1 sentry, 3 sentries. They'll clear out the remotes, and the Techies has been very aggressively mining the bottom lane, which of course means that there's no mines in the mid lane. Or Sacred Blow Blink Dagger is going to jump right in, kill the puck immediately. Exotic Deer loses Aegis as well as the Witch Doctor shortly after. Nisha is going to get snowballed, Wars punched to death, and they get the pull back onto Hero. It is a disastrous push from alternate. Exotic Deer is not even going to get Requiem off. Okay, he will, but he won't do anything. Hero's going to pop his BKB as a last-ditch effort to try to escape. However, Hook Well, he's not going to have enough to catch up to this Slaughter, but it's a 4-0 as BU surprise alternate with the Blink Dagger on the Shaker, and they absolutely destroy that fight.
Absolutely amazing, this fight. I mean, that was so precision strike by Burden United. Like, they found their mojo again. This was absolutely amazing. Everything was aligned, full AoE. Even, like, people, like, the Storm Spirit holding them in place to get the full cooldown combo. The Earthshaker here making the biggest play of all, because his, like, come with me's initial stun, like, that held them in place. And also when the Shadow Fiend tried to come back into this after the Aegis, maybe grab at least one kill, you know, or anything like that, he was stunning Enchant Totem just like that. And the Shadow Fiend, I don't think the Shadow Fiend did a single auto hit in this entire fight.
He couldn't get his BKB off. The Puck got annihilated because of the amount of clustering there was around that Echo Slam. So Puck got absolutely nothing off. You have a silence, if you have Puck being the one to initiate, that fight goes much better for alternate, as we have seen in the past. But right now for BU, they're finally going to get the initiation online, with the Storm Spirit being able to jump in at will, with the Earthshaker being able to do the exact same thing. And suddenly alternate are a little bit scared. They're going to spot out a Mind Stack, get a little bit too close to it, but this is actually going to spot out 2 Mind Stacks, so double value on the Sentry Ward. Alternate, they're going to jump into the mines. No! They just saw the mines. Why do you do that? Like,
I don't think they saw those one. I don't think they see them. Like,
you see a mine, you could assume that there's more.
No, I think this is nighttime.
They pinged it, didn't they?
I think they pinged that the Techies is there, but you don't have direct vision. When you stand here as a Dazzle on the Witch Dog, you demine here, and then you don't see this one. I don't think so, but
I'm pretty sure they pinged it.
Well, if they pinged it, then the Slaughter didn't get the memo.
Either way is gonna die, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Slaughter just did not get the memo.
Yeah.
He was full YOLO. They wanted to jump on a Techies, that didn't really work out in the end. He's going down, and Techies does exactly what he does best, blowing up people, and just having a laugh at others' expense.
Smoke up now. A whole bunch of members, but it's a little bit too late to save the Puck. He's gonna get hit really hard, and he will drop after the vision. Now, Come With Me gonna get the secondary stun onto Nisha. There's still a call down here. They don't even need it. No, they will need it, actually. Nisha's gonna grave himself. We'll be just fine. Now, here comes Crush. We'll connect out to 2. Unintentionally onto Bagnum. Mikelorus gonna drop immediately. Now, Bagnum's stuck in the trees. We'll blink to the south, and TP should be just fine. But it's a 2-for-1 down this bottom lane. Again, losing this Gyrocopter for BU. They can't afford to lose this hero. He's not getting enough farm to just willingly throw his life away and still be successful. Hook gets a little bit of pushing on the top lane, but for a Puck, getting those 2 kills for alternate is a great trade.
Absolutely, and oh, look at this. Shadow Fiend, Outloose going directly for him. I think without the BKB, he has enough space, but yeah, that's what he wanted. He wanted the tasty 10-second BKB out of the Shadow Fiend just for the sake of surviving. He had enough mana to easily kill him. That would have been really just ball lightning around his head and just not doing anything else. So, easy going there for Hook.
Well, he's still going to be on the run right now. There is no Blink Dagger silence on Hawa. He used it to get into that position, so it's a little bit unfortunate there for the Puck. Could have potentially had an opportunity there with the Death Ward. Actually, no, Death Ward wasn't up either, so never mind. Nisha is going to continue demining as the entire dire side of the map is just completely covered with mines. However, Yapsor was spotted the entire time by an Observer Ward, so they know exactly that there's a mine stack here. Plus, there's a gem on Nisha. It's very easy to lose that one since Nisha is fragile and there's a Storm Spirit on the other end. But still, for right now, alternate have only lost like 1 hero to these mine stacks, and that's the Slaughter who kind of just suicided in there.
Well, the Puck earlier ran into one as well, so that's yeah. But you're right, like the kills were not suicides or like deliberately planting a mine on top of your head when you're stunned. Those kills are kind of left out, but that's obvious because ATN, they really want to win this, and that's why they're so careful. I mean, I don't even want to count the money here in this game, but I'm pretty sure they spent already like 2k on sentry wards at least.
Yeah, at least. And then they have a gem as well, so it's like additional expenditures on True Sight. It's such a close game at this stage. Even though BU are like 10k ahead in experience and gold, Alternate's physical damage is so high at the moment that they could go drop down to like 15,000 behind. They could still take a massive fight if they actually get initiation on their own terms with the Puck. Just having the presence of the Dark Lord there, having the now level 2 amplified damage. Slaughter does need an additional item down the line. He's, again, a super slow farming hero, but the Gyrocopter, who ordinarily is going to farm a lot quicker than the Slaughter, is just not in this game. So Alternates still have more than enough to win a team fight. They just have to find a team fight. And they've been so scared about moving outside of their base that they've been slowly but surely losing map vision and losing map presence. They're going to smoke up now and try to go for this top lane, but everyone else in BU, they're going to back off. There is a mine stack here. You do not expect this mine stack if you're alternate. You're going to see a curve, blink forward. They're going to catch eyes onto the Storm Spirit. Requiem's going to be wound up, which will do nothing, as Autolose does get straight out of their mines. Oh, they're going to see them with the gem, and now Yapzor is going to get caught with the coil. He has a suicide, but I don't even know if he can cast it right now. A couple hits, Slaughter's going to grab the kill. That's going to be an instant respawn for the techies, which is nice and everything, but he will lose his life as alternate get a free pick.
Yeah, but still, I mean, they had to find anything, something, absolutely something, because that was Requiem, that was the Death Ward, that was the BKB used, that was so much commitment on the Storm Spirit who did not die, not even close. Like, that was absolutely not even close. The Maledict didn't come out on the Storm Spirit, you just didn't have the time to get it up. So, finding anything for this for those expansions, you have to. I mean, expenses are just too high if you go away without anything.
And BU, even after losing their techies for, less than a second as he instantly respawned, they're going to go right down to the bottom lane and look for a team fight, jumping right in onto Hero. He has no BKB right now. Call down is there. He's going to get woven up, so he's pretty resistant at this point, but will he be resistant enough? It looks like the answer is no. He's going to get Grave, so he will die, delay his death for a little while longer. They're going to put some damage to Autolose. Cast bouncing through really well, but there's not enough damage to the Storm Spirit with the Shiva's Guard. Wall off is going to keep Exotic Tier away from his friendlies. He's going to get Walrus Punch, force pop the BKB right now. Has no Requiem either. Landmine going to destroy his health pool. Now the Death Ward going to be channeled. No one's going to get on top of Velasad to actually cancel that one, but it doesn't really matter. They're not taking enough damage from it. Hero's going to try to go for the Storm Spirit. Will fall short there as they do put him in Snowball. That'll roll forward onto Nisha, and poor Dazzle is not going to be able to withstand this one. Cass, though, is going to maybe save him. Nisha's still alive. Get the heal off. Come with me. Is going to fissure off, but it looks like he's sitting in the tower range for a little too long. He'll die as well, as Hook is going to jump right in with the Shivas, grabs a double kill, and all four alternate heroes are dead. Slaughter is able to slip out of there, albeit barely. Plus, they also get a bonus kill on the Dyer's Courier, which wasn't holding anything, although it did say 900. That was a gem courier.
Yeah, it was the gem courier. They wanted to get the gem that was on the crown, but yeah, the fight was too heated. That didn't really work out. Of course, the worst thing that could have really happened is that the Puck died so early into the fight and everything. They couldn't really do anything around him. The Fissure placement, everything was so beautiful. So was the Death Ward, but overall they just didn't get through. It comes to this point where the Storm Spirit is just doing too much work. 20 stacks on that freaking Bloodstone is just amazing. And look at it from the mid lane, top, directly landing on that Slaughter and going for it. Still having enough mana left. 2,233. That's almost 322 if you read it the other way around with additional 3. But yeah.
The Slaughter, he lost. I don't know if he started out at full HP, probably didn't, but he lost more than half HP from that ball of lightning. And Autolose just gonna chill for like 20 seconds, and suddenly he's back up at full mana again. He should have another item flying out to him. It's gonna be Perseverance for him, so I don't know if it's gonna be Lincoln Sphere. It'll block amplify damage, which is, I guess, kind of nice.
Lotus Orb.
Yeah, maybe. There's not really any great value there, but still, even more mana regeneration. He could ball lightning from half a map away and get so much damage done just with that jump. And then not to mention the fact that he's also Storm Spirit with an Orchid and Shivas. He's going to jump right in over the Shadow Fiend. He's going to pop the Shivas, destroy Hawa's H-Pool. He's going to get healed a little bit, graved up as well. This Puck may live yet, but there's shards that will connect. Puck is going to be just fine. Elisad, though, he's going to get walled off by the shards. Now forced into a Desperation Death Ward. He's not going to get that much done with it, although it's not going to be canceled. Exotic here now winding up directly canceled by Walrus Punch. Mike still stuck in the corner. Will continue fighting to the death. Calldown is there. He'll grab a couple kills, 2 down for Alton so far, as Scream Hero is going to rejoin the fight a little bit late, however. Trying to go for Big Down. He has no attack with the Shiva's Guard. They will take down the Shadow Fiend in the end, is now hooked, looking forward for more, as Nisha does not have that much to help him out, and they get the Walrus Punch to the Slaughter, making it a full 5-man wipe after Nisha is going to fall, and he will fall shortly, rest assured. Autolose grabs a godlike spree, and that's going to be a 5-for-0 trade for BU. Techie's on the bottom lane. He's going to be able to push down this tower with the landmines. It looks like Alternate are facing down probably 2 sets of super cubes.
That is, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Techie's pushing, that's just ridiculous how much that is, and with them top, they should have enough steam. There is no cliff available for a long time, so this might be GG right here. Yeah, there we go. As I say it, the GG is coming out. They are listening to me today, that's perfect. Anyway, Burden United. The Techies is real.
And it was very well played around for Alternate, but they just couldn't handle the Storm Spirit. He got way too much farm. really kind of nice for Alternate to concede that game, which they were really out of. Their Slaughter had no farm whatsoever. He was doing nothing because just with the Shiva's guard attack speed slow, he was not doing any damage at all, even with all his minus armor. Had no attack speed, no hyperstone, anything like that. So we are going to be behind schedule, but we're going to a game 3 nonetheless.
Yeah, guys, so I keep this all short. Game 3 will be soon up. Originally, of course, the best of 3 was 22 CEST. That will be a bit later because we have to play game number 3. But, man, 2 amazing games, so I'm looking forward to it. And that's worth waiting a bit for the London Conspiracy game, of course, later on. So, guys, we're back in about 5 minutes. Be right back.